Hi guys, so today we're having a look at some rather unusual makeup brushes that I picked up on Beauty Bay. Now, if you've been around my channel for a while and you've seen me talking about brushes, you might be surprised that I even wanted to pick these up. Because they're fan brushes. But they're not just fan brushes like, you know, like fan brushes. They're different. So these are from BH Cosmetics. One of these is an eyeshadow brush and one of these is a concealer brush. So they come in this really cool ombre packaging. So the brush numbers are 4 and 5, 4 being the eyeshadow and 5 being the larger concealer brush. Price wise, the eyeshadow brush is £5.50, concealer brush is £6. I did grab mine on Beauty Bay, and you'll be able to get these anywhere that BH Cosmetics is sold. This is actually, I think, the first BH Cosmetics product I have ever tried. So we have got an application section, so let's see how that went. Right, let's get this open for a first impression. So, my nails are not being cooperative for this. Hey, okay. So, it's very wrapped up and kept safe. Although this is a brush cover that you wouldn't be able to... Oh no, you do, sorry. So the brush cover is open at the end. It was just really well lined up and it looked like it was a solid one. So you would be able to use the brush cover again, which you might have to for these because they're quite an unusual shape. So maybe that will be needed. Okay, so the bristles feel nice and soft against my skin, so they're nicely cut, nice edges, but there's still a decent amount of, you can apply some pressure, so I'm hoping this is going to be good. I wanted to do just like a toned down pin-up look today, so that is what we're going to attempt with this weird brush. I got this on Beauty Bay, it was £5.50, and they didn't really have the biggest description of it. They just said that you could use it for blending eyeshadow, which doesn't tell you a lot more than it's an eyeshadow brush. So I'm going to try and use it for putting colour all over and see how that goes. So for this it seems to be giving me quite a lot of fallout. So because it's quite thin this direction, it's almost like when you wiggle the product in, it comes through to the other side. So you would have to tap that off, or you'll get a lot of fallout. So this is getting the colour on there. It's feeling nice. I'm just kind of not loving that bit where the colour works through to the other side. Especially, I was thinking this would be great if you were doing like a rainbow eye, because it's, got that nice shape. It might be good for doing, like, for blending like the joins between the two colours. But that would possibly get a bit messy if you were trying to use it for that. So, like you could apply the colour and then blend the two, but if different colours are going onto the different sides of the brush, you would end up needing like a few of these, or you would be cleaning them constantly. Which is not bad if you have a colour switch, I guess. But anyway, I like when I do a rainbow cell, I like to do one colour on one side of the brush and flip it. I find that's like a much easier way for, blending and working through the colours. So that has took me, I would say, easily twice as long as my big chubby normal brush, but it feels nice. It's on there. That's what we want. So I'm just dipping into the Revolution Pro palette again. What are we going to grab? So I'm just going to dip into Cam, which is this colour here. I'm just going to try and use this as a sort of transition shade. It's going to be interesting to see how this works for that. So this shape isn't entirely even. There's like the gradient, the swoop isn't the same. I'm going to try and get the colour mainly on that tip of the brush and see if that works for sweeping in like a transition-y crease shade. Okay, it does, that's cool. really am trying to work out if this is going to be a brush that you could literally do, you know, one brush to do an entire eye look, because if so, then that's pretty cool. It would be a great one for like, you know, a travel set, if you really want to kind of like minimalise what you're taking with you. So far, it's doing that for me. And then, so here it's went a little bit higher up. Yeah, it works quite well, kind of like eraser style as well. So I'm then going to go into Majestic, which is like my favourite colour in this palette, because it's basically dark purple, and I love dark purple. And we're going to get this right into the crease in the outer V. That's quite nice because you can just blend it out like that, and it focuses on blending it out the way rather than onto the lid. Okay. I'm going to be honest, I thought this was going to be a bit of a gimmick, so far I'm actually really impressed. Have we really got a £5, well, £5.50 eyeshadow brush that's going to do the job of all your brushes? See, there I've had a bit too much dust on it and it's went up there, so I need to do some cleaning up again. That's fine. So I think so far what I'm learning is you have to be extra careful about fallout with this brush. Or in that case, dust up rather than fall out. So we're a bit darker on this side, so let's balance that out. But you can definitely get right in and put, you know, quite precise colour placement. I'm slightly tempted to grab an even darker shade again. Yeah, so this is like the Lime Crime Venus Silver palette, and I'm just going to grab Plated. And we're just going to see if we can do like a really precise bit of like contouring in that crease. Let's see how that goes. See how much deeper that looks? And then I'm just going to give it a wee quick clean off on my colour switch and do a blend all together. But yeah, that to me is absolutely brilliant. I really like that. Do I want any shimmer on today? Let's try a little bit of Jazz It Up to jazz it up. I think this is pretty much the same eye look that I done when I reviewed this palette. It's just the same colours basically called to me. So yeah, it does a nice subtle job of shimmer as well, so that's nice. So I don't really want to wear anything on my lower lash line, but considering I haven't done my foundation yet and I can wipe this off, let's have a quick look. So if I grab something like Glamour, and I've dusted the shimmer off by the way. So yep, it's fine enough to do the bottom lash line as well. Cool. So definitely seems like a very multi-purpose brush. So I am going to go and do most of my face makeup because we also have the concealer brush to play with, and I will be right back. Right, so foundation is on, and let's get this concealer brush out, if it wants to come out, which it doesn't. Help me! My god, I'm going to need to reblend my foundation. It'll be so crazy by the time I finish burning at this. I can't even grab the handle because the packaging is starting to come off. Okay, that one was just properly stuck in there. Right, okay, so this one is £6, so a whole 50 pence more. But you can see that it is a bigger brush, so that's what that's about. I've just noticed that the ferrules on these, like, they're actually split at the side. It's weird. Okay, so anyway, I am going to try a couple of different consistencies with this just to see how it goes. So I'm going to grab the Primark Under Eye Corrector, which is a nice liquidy product, and we'll see how this does. So similarly to the eyeshadow brush, when I looked on the Beauty Bee website, all it really said was that you can use it to apply and blend out concealer. Cool. So I think this would possibly have been nice for setting your under eye, but we'll see. I'm not loving this for blending. I'm going to zoom you guys right in. That's my dishwasher. Right, so this doesn't look as, you know, kind of even and streak free as I would like. I normally just go in with the same brush I use for my foundation to do that, and I also feel like when I'm trying to dab, which is what I think is going to be more effective, it's getting right up the kind of the ferrule. Because when I blend out like that, look, it's quite brush strokey. And if I go side on, I don't know, it's like that bit with the point on it is almost getting wiped away compared to other, but that looks pretty bad actually. Okay, so that's that done and then redone. So feeling a little bit apprehensive because I'm using a stick concealer right now. This is the matte base concealer from Revolution, and this is going to be an interesting experience. I've lost my lip bar, if anybody's wondering, by the way. I've got a new one arriving today and a spare one with that new one. So hopefully we'll be sorted soon. So one thing I'm going to say is, even if this does blend out a stick concealer, I've got a feeling it's going to take ages, because I normally, like I said, just go in with my foundation brush, and there's a slight size difference there. So I mean, it's blending out, but it's almost still so thick that it doesn't, like, it doesn't sit in with the rest of my skin. Whereas if I go in with, like, my normal guy, you know, we do that and we're done. So just tempted to do that. Maybe for, like, really tiny spots and things, this would be okay. Getting in about here, I like it for that, but my other brush does that too. My nose I have had some problems with lately for some reason. Oh, for some reason, like, concealer and foundation are just kind of blending off of my nose. This certainly seems to be doing slightly less, but still happening. In there, I'm just using it like a normal fluffy blending brush. So let's have a look. So I've got a spot down here that's a bit more of a spot conceal. I almost feel like I'm trying to like brush the pigment back into the middle now. Reverse blending. No, I still feel like that's really quite standing out from like the rest of my skin. Right, I'm gonna quickly blend this all in so it actually looks blended. Whoops, other direction, other direction, other direction. I really need to get better at remembering that. So I'm going to see if this is just about dry enough to try and use it to set like my under eye, because I'm interested to see how it'll work for that. But at the moment, so far, this one isn't impressing me. Maybe I would just use it for another eyeshadow brush, because, you know, it's a bit bigger, so if I was trying to cover the whole lid, that might be easier. So I'm just gonna got a little cotton round, so I'm just gonna kind of wipe as much of the excess of that concealer off on that as possible. And then hopefully this will be dry enough for me to go in with some loose powder. And okay. Okay, so for setting the concealer under your eyes, it seems to be really, really good actually. So that's pretty cool. It definitely, you can get right in as close to the lash line as you need to. So yeah, that's good. I'm going to go and finish up the rest of my makeup and I will be right back to give my final thoughts. Okay, so you've probably figured out by now kind of where I'm leaning towards this. I do actually really like these. I definitely think they're better suited to powder than cream products. The concealer one, it just didn't do enough for me. But I think for doing like bigger areas on your eyes, it'll perform as well as this one, but get the area covered faster. I did like it for setting the under eyes as well, so again, powders. But these, I think they're cool. They actually do work. They're not a gimmick. They're very affordable, they're very soft, and they're just a really, really, really nice brush at a ridiculously low price point for what they are. So if you've been looking at these and wondering if they were worth it, definitely give them a little nosy. I do like that this guy I can pretty much use for anything. It done the crease, it could do more precise in the crease, it could do my lower lash line. If I wanted to do an inner corner with this, I'm pretty sure I could. What have I got? That's a good highlight, let's do that one. You know, like if I just... Yeah. So this is basically one brush that could do an entire eye look for you, which I think is pretty darn cool. So if you've got any questions, please leave those down below and I will get back to you. Any requests, put those down there as well. And you may have seen in one of my other videos that I'm thinking I'm going to do a giveaway when we reach 1,500 subscribers, which we're not that far off. We're at 1,427, I think, just now. So we can do it. Let's have a giveaway in time for Halloween, because there's, you know, all the holiday collections are starting to drop and there's so much cooler stuff that I can buy to put in it. So yeah, click the subscribe button, click the like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.